Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. Hope you had a wonderful week. This week's video is dedicated to Yossi and Ruchi Isaacson. Mazel tov to you on the birth of a baby boy. May the bris be be'itai bizmanai. And mazel tov also to David and Gitti Vault. Mazel tov to you on the birth of Sarah. You should both go from Simcha to Simcha. Also dedicated to Nechama Bas Chai Rivka as Refuah Shlema, and also to Shalom Davar Mordechai ben Rachel. This week's Parsha is Parshas Ki Saitzai, in which the Torah talks a lot about the different laws of marriages and divorces. And in this week's Haftarah, we have similar lessons. This is the fifth week of the weeks of Nechama, the weeks of consolation. And the beginning of the Haftarah, Hashem promises Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, that one day in the future when Moshiach comes, it's going to be completely repopulated, and the Jewish people they're going to grow vastly in numbers. There's going to be so many Jewish people. And to the third theme of the Haftarah is that one day Hashem will gather us back in. And what that means is, in a certain sense, it seems like Hashem, he's hidden from us. He's away from us. He's like that husband that has banished his wife, and the wife doesn't know what to do or where to go. So the verse says that, why did Hashem do this? The verse says like this: "Berega katen azavtich," just for a brief moment, I forsook you. "Berachmim gedolim akaptzech," but with great mercy I will regather you. And then it also says, "B'shatzav ketzaf histarti panai," for a short burst of anger I hid my face. "Rega mimech," but only for a rega, a small amount of time. "B'chesed olam richamtich," and with an everlasting kindness I will eventually have mercy on you, says your Redeemer Hashem. Now what this means is Hashem is promising us that in the future, when Moshiach comes, everything is going to be switched instantaneously. And as long as the exile has been, and as much as we've suffered, when Moshiach comes, it's going to be like a different existence for us. That short burst of anger that Hashem had will immediately turn into this incredible kindness. And this reminds me of an idea that we may have shared in the past. In the past, we've spoken that the verse says, while Jacob was hoping to marry Rachel, our great matriarch, he had to work for her for 7 years. And the Torah says that for Jacob, it was as if it was like 7 days. And the question is, when you're waiting for something, you can't wait for it to happen. 7 days seems like 7 years. Certainly 7 years should have seemed to have lasted like 70 years. How for Jacob was it that 7 years was only like 7 days? And the Alshach of blessed memory explains beautifully. He explains that it didn't mean at the time. It meant at the time that after he finally married her. Not the time that he was waiting to marry her, but at the time that he finally married her. The flip side of it, of the wait, of 7 years, once he finally got to the other side, the immense benefit that he had for marrying her was as if he got off cheap, as if he only had to wait 7 days. It was so amazing. It was so overwhelmingly amazing. I remember also one time I knew a certain couple that was overwhelmingly in debt. And every single month they would struggle to pay the bills. And the man's wife was especially taking it really, really hard, and they were barely paying the bills. So he had a check here and a check there, but meanwhile he was working on a business deal, and he broke through, and he made 6 figures. It was able to help them pay all their bills. This is a true story. And he was given 2 checks, a 5-digit bill and a 6-digit bill, and he gave it to his wife. He said, "Look what we have." He showed her the $25,000 check. She was so elated. She was so happy. But she didn't even know that beneath that check, there was another check of $150,000. And when she saw that check, she just melted. And all the troubles that they had these last number of years with worrying about paying bills, it was all gone in a split second. It was as if it was so worth it to go through that just to finally have this crescendo of having all that money. It was just like such a complete relief. Everything were able to, it seemed like all trivial now, whatever they went through. That's what it's going to be, except a trillionfold. That when Mashiach comes, all the suffering that we had, it's going to seem like cheap. I don't mean to cheapen anybody's suffering, but it's going to seem so cheap. We're going to be so ecstatic. We get all this just for that? We get to enjoy all this incredible, endless amazingness, glory that's going to be, that we're enjoying it right now when Moshiach comes. And all we had to pay for this was 2,000 years of exile. It was nothing. We got it cheap. And when Hashem snaps his finger and he's ready, that burst, that short burst of anger is going to turn into ever-longing redemption. As the verse says, it says, don't fear, don't be afraid, al tikomi, and don't be ashamed. Because the embarrassment of your youth, you will forget, and the shame of your widowhood, meaning when Hashem was not with us, you won't even remember it. It'll be like it never happened. It'll be so overwhelmingly amazing that it'll be like the exile never even happened. Can you imagine? Look forward to such happiness, incredible days. So we have to live with this hope. We have to live what we're just going through. It's like a fleeting dream. It's as if it didn't happen. But even if it actually did happen, we have to know in the future we're going to feel that we got off so cheap. And we're going to thank Hashem for the endless kindness that he bestowed on us in the past, and he will be bestowing on us when Moshiach does come. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.